Hello Cancer, Sun, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So Cancer, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. So with all that being said, Cancer, let's get started. How does Cancer currently view this relationship? All right, Cancer. So we do have the Justice card, we do have the Judgment card, and then we also have the World out here. Okay. Cancer, for some of you, you could be dealing with a Libra, possibly a Scorpio, maybe even an Aquarius or a Taurus or a Leo. Doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but in regards to how you're currently viewing this relationship, it looks like there was a cycle that closed out here between you and whoever it is that you are essentially dealing with. With the Justice card to the Judgment card, that's kind of telling me that you made the right judgment call by either allowing this cycle to close out between the two of you if you didn't close it out, or closing the cycle out if you were the one to essentially close it out. You made the right judgment call is basically what I'm getting so far. Now, I do want to look at your person and see how they're currently viewing this relationship with you, but just know that you made the right decision when it comes down to either allowing the cycle to close out between you and this person or just simply closing it out yourself. How does this person currently view this relationship with Cancer? So we do have the Queen of Cups, we do have the Nine of Cups, and then we also have the Strength card. Okay, the bottom of the deck, we do have the Five of Wands, and then we also have the King of Cups out here. Two pair situation here between you and this person. Whoever this person is to the right of me, I don't believe you've met them just yet. I do believe that you definitely will meet this person very soon, especially because they're already showing up within your energy field, Cancer. But I am definitely getting that you're going to find yourself meeting someone new very, very soon. And it's going to be somebody that you're compatible with. This person is definitely a soulmate of yours, okay? Now, in regards to this person, okay? Currently at the moment, I'm not really seeing the connection just yet between you and this person, which is basically insinuating that you haven't met them and they haven't met you. Currently at the moment, though, I do see this person very focused on themselves right now. There's a whole lot of self-love going on here within this person's energy. So yeah, they're just very, very focused on themselves right now. This person is definitely very open and receptive to love. I am definitely getting that. I just don't feel like love is a priority right now for this person. Like if it comes along, you know what I mean? Like if the right person comes along, you know, they'll, you know, embrace it and entertain it. But I don't see this person like on the hunt or anything like that when it comes down to like looking for love or looking for the one. It just kind of looks like this person, you know, has been spending time focusing on them. And like I said, when the right person does come along, you know, they'll embrace it, they'll entertain it. But until then, it just kind of looks like they're, you know, very determined to just simply focus on them and allow love to essentially find them instead of them essentially looking for it, is basically what I'm gathering. Now, when you do meet this person, Cancer, I am definitely getting that there's going to be a lot of resistance coming from you. So you're not going to be as open and receptive to this connection as they are. You know, this is like the epitome of you fighting against how you feel about this person and what you could foresee yourself having with this person. We'll see why you're going to find yourself fighting this connection when it does show up in your life. So let's jump back over to you and see what's going on your end. Okay. How does Cancer feel? Okay, so we do have the Four of Cups, we do have the Empress, and then we also have the Three of Swords. The bottom of the deck, we do have the Seven of Swords, and then we also have the Five of Pentacles out here. Yeah, I'm not seeing the connection just yet between you and this person, but it does appear to me that you're going to collide into this person at any given moment, okay? So as far as like this decision that you recently chose to make as far as like closing a cycle out is concerned, or allowing a cycle to essentially close out, because for some of you, you could have been the one to close this cycle out between you and this person from your past, or maybe this person closed this cycle out with you, regardless of who closed this cycle out with who, okay? You made the right decision by allowing this person to walk out of your life. You made the right decision by ending things between you and this person. Although you made the right decision by either walking out of this dynamic that you once upon a time had with this person, or allowing them to walk out of this dynamic that they once upon a time had with you, it does appear to me that you're extremely bummed out that things didn't necessarily work out between you and this person like you were essentially hoping it would. You know, at the end of the day, this is somebody that you invested a lot of time and energy towards. And it does now essentially have you feeling like you wasted all of this time trying to make this dynamic between the two of you work, trying to keep this dynamic between you and this person, intact and afloat, for nothing, for it to not essentially work out in the end. So I do feel like you're extremely bummed out because of it. I'm also getting like an energy of you kind of like beating yourself up. A lot of you may have felt like towards the beginning of this dynamic between you and this person that it just simply, wasn't going to work out, but you decided to proceed forward either which way. So I am definitely getting an energy of you being bummed out. Yes, that it didn't work out between you and this person, but you're also extremely bummed out that you invested so much time and energy, towards them and keeping the relationship, intact and afloat, while also essentially feeling like it just simply wasn't going to ever work out between you and this person. It's as if you wish you would have listened to your intuition instead of ignore, your intuition when it came down to this person in particular. But I am definitely getting moving forward. You're very determined to not make the same mistakes again. So when you get this overwhelming feeling of, oh, I just don't feel like this is the one for me, instead of you continuing to proceed forward feeling that way, you're going to decide to not do that anymore moving forward. So you definitely learned a valuable lesson through this entire experience, from this, person from your past, basically what I'm gathering. Now let's jump back over to this new person that you're going to find yourself essentially meeting very soon. How does this person feel? Okay. So we have the Hangman. We do have the Six of Cups, and then we also have the Five of Swords out here. Okay, the bottom of the deck we do have the Lovers, and then we also have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, now in regards to how this person is currently feeling, I do see this person trying their hardest to be open and receptive towards someone fairly new, which this is kind of where I feel like you kind of like come into play in this person's life. So that's telling me that you're going to end up meeting this person a lot sooner than you're anticipating and or expecting. Now the timing for you, Cancer, may not be right considering the fact that you just recently got out of a marriage and a relationship, but I am definitely getting the two of you essentially colliding into one another in some way, shape, and or form. So let's talk about it. I do see this person trying to be open and receptive, towards you and this connection that they share with you once they do essentially meet you. However, with the Five of Swords, coming out here, I do believe that they are looking at you and their relationship with you like this is like a too good to be true type of situation. In other words, they basically view you as somebody who's basically perfect for them. Hence why they're kind of like questioning absolutely everything under the sun when it comes on to you. Maybe this person's not used to like stumbling across somebody that they feel is perfect for them. So that could explain why they're going to find themselves looking at this entire situation like it's a little too good to be true between the two of you. But nonetheless, I do see this person being open and receptive to this connection here between the two of you. Tell me more about the Lovers. Okay, so remember, you did show up as a King of Cups. Okay, so this is kind of where we kind of see the two of you basically collide into one another. Now, you could very well be meeting this person through a mutual friend, possibly even online, especially with the Three of Wands coming out here. I mean, this relationship could very well be starting, online. That's definitely a possibility. You might live at a distance from this person. That's also a possibility with the Three of Wands, but nonetheless, I do see the two of you meeting one another, however it is that you guys do end up meeting one another. And I do see the two of you instantly connecting with one another. And it's because of how, it has a lot to do with how compatible you guys are, but it also has a lot to do with the fact that the two of you are two people who do have a lot of things in common with one another. So you guys are going to mesh very well with one another immediately at first. I do see you falling for this person. I do see this person falling for you. I also feel like this connection between you and this person is going to help you forget about the past and this mistake that you felt like you essentially made by investing all that you have to give into this person for it to not work out in the end. Even with the energy of you beating yourself up, because I was getting that too off of you. We did see you kind of beating yourself up when it came down to investing into this person, even though you had this overwhelming feeling from the start that it just simply wasn't going to work out between you and this person, but you invested into this person either which way. Like, this connection truly is going to help you forget about the past. And this dynamic that you were once upon a time in. Now, With you and this person, though, I do see things unfolding very nicely here between the two of you. I do see you being very open and receptive towards this person, this connection. However, I do see things changing within you. It's like you go from being open and receptive to being, you know, very, very guarded all of a sudden. So I'm kind of curious to see why that is, because we do see you being very open and receptive to this connection here between you and this person in the very, very beginning. But I feel like that's going to be shortly lived for whatever reason. What actions will Cancer take towards this person or moving forward? All right, let's see what's going on. So we do have the Emperor. We do have the Eight of Cups. And then we also have the Sun. At the bottom of the deck, we do have the Star out here. In regards to how you plan on moving forward, this is just acting as a double confirmation that your relationship with this person to the right of me will definitely help you forget about the past, as well as make peace with the past and not beat yourself up over the past. Okay, I think that this connection is also helping you realize that everything in life happens for a reason. It looks like this entire situation between you and this person from your past needed to fall apart so something better could essentially come along. I do see this connection bringing in a lot of happiness and a lot of joy, as well as wish fulfillment. It kind of looks like prior to you meeting this person, you weren't necessarily entirely happy, and it could have a lot to do with your relationship with this person from your past, and you beating yourself up and just being extremely hard on yourself. But this connection between you and this person is definitely going to uplift your spirits and bring a lot of happiness and joy into your life, but it's also going to give you something to essentially look forward to. I'm also getting that because a lot of you may have found yourselves essentially feeling like you don't really have anything to look forward to, but this connection is going to really help you out with that as well. But what actions will this person take towards Cancer or moving forward? Okay, so we do have the Ace of Swords, okay? We do have the Hierophant, and then we also have the Two of Wands, okay? In regards to how this person plans on moving forward, I do see this person having conversations, with you, or at least wanting to have a conversation with you when it comes down to the direction in which this relationship is heading in. Like, what are we doing here? Are we working towards something serious here, or are we not? Are you looking for something serious, or are you not, Cancer? So I do see conversations about, commitment here between the two of you happening within the near future, and it's something that this person's going to essentially spark between the two of you. Now, what else can you tell me for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? All right, so Cancer, going back to that energy of you being open and receptive to this connection, and then we see like a 180 transpire within you. Let's talk about that, okay? I do feel like, due to the fact that you went through what you went through in this prior situation that you were in before meeting this person, I do believe that that's something that is unfortunately affecting you within your relationship with this new person. It's like, again, it's like you go from being open and receptive to this new person and giving this new person's relationship your all to like pulling this 180. And it has a lot to do with this past relationship that you were in, because with this past relationship that you were in, you truly gave this person, your relationship with this person, your all. So the last thing you want to do is turn around and give a person your all and then, find yourself in the same predicament all over again, feeling like you wasted your time, feeling like you shouldn't have invested all that you had to essentially give into that person. So I do see you pulling a 180. You're not going to really find yourself giving this dynamic and or this person, your all, because I do see you kind of switching up. It's like you go from giving them your all to like not really giving them your all anymore, but it's stemming from a place of, well, I'm just going to play it safe because you never know, like, what if it doesn't work out in the end? Like, I don't want to like go through this again where I'm investing all that I have to give into a person and then it just doesn't work out in the end. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that. Now, this is you technically speaking, yes, playing it safe within your relationship with this person, but I do believe that it's going to cause, some tension and conflict between you and this new person, because they're going to find themselves giving you in their relationship with you your all, and you're going to be basically playing small. You're going to be playing it safe, and that is going to create some tension and conflict between the two of you. They're not going to like the fact that they're giving you an energy that you're not reciprocating back in return, and it's going to make this person feel like they're the only one really giving this relationship that they share with you, their all, if that makes absolutely any sense. Okay, so I do believe that this mindset of how you want to go about this, like, let me just play small, let me just play it safe, like, I get why you're doing it, but just know that it is going to create tension and conflict between you and this person later on down the line, okay? Because this person made you feel foolish for investing all that you have to essentially give, you know, from your past anyways. You know, I think that a lot of you think that they're going to make you feel foolish for investing all that you have to essentially give, when it is all said and done. But this is you just kind of like projecting past experiences that you've had with this person from your past onto this person, assuming that they're the same, assuming that they're going to do you the exact same way that they do, or assuming that this person is going to do you the exact same way this person from your past essentially did you. And I don't feel like that's their intentions, okay? I don't feel like this person has any sort of intentions of giving you the bare minimum or not giving you, or this relationship that they share with you, their all, because their energy is remaining very consistent. I will give them that. Like, we don't really see this person backpedaling. We don't see this person retracting their energy. We don't really see this person doing any of those things. We see this person pouring all of themselves into you in this connection that they share with you. And I do believe that, unfortunately, that's going to, you know, essentially change, you know, over time, because if you continue to play small and play it safe, you know, there's going to come a point in time where they're probably going to end up reciprocating that same energy back to you in return, because the Queen of Cups is known for that, as far as reciprocating that same energy people give them in return, because these are the type of people that love people in the ways they want to be loved, treat people the way that they want to be treated. They're very, you know, big on that. So when a person starts to play small with them, for prime example, like you plan on doing, they're going to start playing small with you. If there's like an emotional attachment here, you guys are at a very serious point within your relationship, yeah, they're going to start playing small with you. If you give them the bare minimum, they're going to give you the bare minimum. If you don't go all out, they're not going to go all out. They're very big on reciprocating energy. And like I said, I do feel like it's going to create some tension and conflict here, because you got to keep in mind too that you're falling in love with this version of them, the version of them that's giving you, in this dynamic that they share with you, their all. And they're falling in love with this version of you where you're giving them, in your relationship with them, your all. That's the version of you that they're falling in love with, and this is the version of them that you're falling in love with. So once they start to change on their end, you're going to be like, wait a minute, like, you never used to be this way. What's going on? Like, I don't like this version of you. Well, that's going to be the exact same way they're going to find themselves essentially feeling about you when you start playing it small, when you start giving them the bare minimum. You're going to start to basically become the person in that they didn't essentially fall in love with, and that's going to create problems later on down the line. So I get why you want to play small. I get why you want to play it safe, but it is just going to be a situation that's going to make the relationship in itself possibly very toxic and unstable and chaotic, because you're becoming the person that they didn't originally fall in love with. And then over time, they're going to start to become the person that you didn't originally fall in love with, because you want to play it safe and you want to play small. All right, so it's just something to kind of think about, you know what I mean? So that's what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped, hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.